to order the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We're meeting remotely per our what seems to be usual operation. I'm still not too used to being the chair when it's remote, so Elizabeth is going to help me out when I fall apart. But the first thing I think I need to do is call the roll of the members of the board who are here. Ms. Akehurst Moore. Yes, apparently. Yeah, you're not, I'm not hearing you.
Oh, you're not hearing me?
Yeah, now I am.
Oh, okay, good. Here, I'm
Very
here.
good. Mr. Swaim.
Here.
Mr. Faia.
Here.
Mr. Smith here. Okay, Mr. Kindermans is not joining us tonight, not able to be with us tonight. First item on the agenda at 7 p.m. is the Concord Housing Authority for a special permit and site plan review under sections 10, 11.6, and 11.8 of the zoning bylaw for a 2-unit planned residential development at 365 Commonwealth Avenue. Do we have somebody here speaking for the applicant? Yes, sir. Mr. Eifler, yes.
Hi, Rick Eifler, 14 Pleasant Street, and I am the chair of the Concord Housing Authority.
Okay. Do you have a presentation or?
Sure, I can. Do I automatically get to share a screen here?
Yep, you can if you would like.
Okay. So we are applying for a special permit for a 2-unit development at 365 Commonwealth Avenue. This parcel consists of property we currently own, previously owned at 365 Commonwealth that has a house on it. And it's combined with a parcel the town gave us in 2019 when the town voted to transfer the tip of the Giroux property to the Concord Housing Authority to be combined with our parcel to build a second small house. So we are proposing a small 2-bedroom house under various sections of the zoning bylaw, the most important of which is 10.3.1, which is a special provision for the Concord Housing Authority under the Planned Residential Development Bylaws that essentially allows us to disregard a lot of the planned residential development rules except for access from a public way and the normal height limitation of a single-family house in Concord. You probably have in your possession the report from the planning board, which goes through pretty much our entire applications, showing the issues in the zoning and the responses to them in our plans. I can answer questions if you like. This is the property. Commonwealth Avenue is right here. The Bruce Freeman Rail Trail is right here. Warner Pond is here. Our existing house is right here. And our proposed house is right here. You can see that our original parcel at 365 Commonwealth is about half the parcel. And the other half of the parcel is the town transferred property, although it's largely encumbered by a 20-foot easement that the town is maintaining for the Giroux property and is currently using as an access road for the construction. So if you were to drive by right now, there's a big construction fence across the front and down the side of that driveway. Let's see, we have the architect's plans in the package. This plan shows the existing house and the house next to it in both first floor plan view and front elevation view. There are other architectural drawings in the set if you have questions. And let's see, and I have the entire application package here if you have any questions on that. So that's kind of a brief overview. I would note that the site plan in the package is slightly old now. We've been through application with the Concord Natural Resources. So the approved site plan is slightly different. In your planning board recommendations, you'll note some comments by the town engineering department. So we have already responded to some of those. We're showing what happens to the foundation drain. And we're showing instead of an infiltration trench that was on the back of the property at the time the town engineer reviewed, we've relocated the infiltration trench for the rear downspouts to a small distance away from the foundation to eliminate his issues with that. So I guess that's a rough overview, and I'm happy to answer any questions on any part of the application.
Thanks, Mr. Reifler. I'm going to turn over the board in 1 second, but I had a quick question for you, which is that the planning board made has set forth a number of conditions and even a recommendation with respect to some additional screening.
Mhm.
Are all of those items, all of those recommendations or conditions, are they all acceptable to the housing authority, or do we have any issues around any of those?
No, those are acceptable. I think we're supposed to work with the town tree warden and the Natural Resources Commission to pick proper trees and put them in the proper spot, and the town is going to be paying for them from the town tree fund.
Thank you. Questions from the board? Hearing none, I guess we'll open it to public comment. We're monitoring, there's raise hand functions and all sorts of other ways to put yourself in front of us. So I know Heather's helping me out as well. All right, if no public comment, seems easy enough. We'll go ahead and close the public comment and proceed to a decision here. One of the things I thought was interesting to note and good to note was that I know a lot of people in town have been there's a lot of advocacy in town for all electric homes with respect to these new developments, and that's what's called for here, which is nice. The West Concord, we have a West Concord something committee, West Concord Advisory Committee, thank you, who's weighed in and recommended. Certainly, I think from my perspective, a very well put together presentation and a very thorough report from the planning board. Some of us will note that there's a recommendation sort of running around for the from about whether at some point planned residential developments will simply be approved by the planning board and not come to the zoning board of appeals. This is probably a situation where you could make a strong case for that, given the work that's been done.
Yeah, I agree. It's very comprehensive and well thought out and well reasoned planning board letter. So and you address the infiltration issue and you address the screening. So I think with those being taken care of, and I guess just conditions as set forward in the planning board letter, I'm very comfortable with this. I think it's great.
I agree. You know, there's a provision in the bylaw in 10.4, I think. 10.4.3 that NRC is supposed to give us a report and recommendation. I'm not sure I saw something formal from them, but I think, you know, the information regarding the NRC's thoughts and recommendations is kind of included in the planning board recommendation. So just for purposes of taking that box,
Yeah, actually, Manny, I'm sorry, Ravi, I had a similar question about that one because it said that we should be expecting this letter. So can we just say it's contingent upon that? The notice of intent. The order of conditions.
Elizabeth and Rafi, I talked to Delia Kay this morning, Natural Resource Director, and this was at their last meeting on October 6th.
okay.
So I
Yeah.
would imagine the letter's coming.
Okay.
So you said, I'm sorry, Ray, I just didn't hear your words. You said it was approved by the natural NRC?
Right, on October 6th at their last meeting, it was approved.
Okay. Well, in that case, I think it's perfect, Elizabeth, to suggest that we just put it as a condition as getting it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Ravi, are you voting on this one, by the way?
I'm happy to, yes.
Okay. So can one of the two of you, you or Elizabeth, make a motion?
Sure. Motion that the application of the Concord Housing Authority for a special permit under sections 10, 11.6 and 11.8 of the zoning bylaw for a 2-unit TRD at 365 Commonwealth Avenue be approved, subject to the conditions that were outlined in the planning board's recommendation, and the additional note that we will receive the NRC's letter following this meeting, though we all know what it will say, and that we've made the appropriate findings under the bylaw to support that approval.
And I second that.
Thank you. So
Fine,
all those
my
in
button.
favor, Mr. Faia,
Aye.
Ms. Akers-Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Smith, aye. Motion is carried. Mr. Eifler, good luck with this.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you,
like
everyone.
a great project. Okay, moving right along. This meeting's going a little quicker than our last one. The next item on the agenda is Molly Moulton and Alex Latch for a special permit under section 7.1.3, 11.6 to demolish an existing 174 square foot detached garage structure and to construct a 519 square foot addition on an existing 1,590 square foot non-conforming dwelling on a non-conforming lot at 34 Fielding Street. Just for information of those in attendance, this is not a situation in which the dwelling is on the non-conforming lot is going to exceed 50% of the current size of the dwelling, but rather an issue where we have a non-conformity because of setback, I think. But in any event, who is speaking for the applicant?
I will speak, Mr. Chair. My name is Jay Walter. I'm the architect for the project. I live
Thank you,
at
Mr. Walter.
83 Pembroke Street in Newton, Mass. If I can share my screen.
You certainly may. I have to say the screen sharing ability is getting better and better.
We're all just getting better at it. Can you see my screen with the photographs of the existing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just to orient you, then this is the house in question. It's on the corner of Fielding and Union Street. The bottom right-hand elevation is what faces Fielding Street. That's the main elevation with the entry on the bottom right. Union Street is the picture to the left. The southwest corner at Fielding and Union Street shows the corner of the house at the corner of the two streets as they intersect. Unfortunately, I don't have a good picture of the what's being called a garage, which is actually a prefabricated oversized shed meant for storage for lawn, power lawnmowers and that kind of thing. It's not really a garage, although it is at the end of the driveway. So you can see that barely in the upper right-hand corner in the back of the house behind the little stoop there. Moving to the plot plan. This is the proposed plot plan that shows the addition in the rear of the existing house. Again, the main entrance is off of Fielding Street with proposed parking off of Union Street, two-car parking. This is the shed, the large shed, and the driveway that is to be removed. We are relocating the bulkhead, which is now in the rear, and putting it on the side. And we are having a new rear entrance off the back of the addition. Moving to the elevations. The right-hand side is the existing elevation on Fielding Street. We're going to maintain the front entrance of the house. We are going to decrease the depth of that front porch, and we're going to be adding a fireplace chimney, exposed chimney on the front with a stone veneer. On the side facing Union Street, we're going to remove that side entrance now that has a little shed roof and stairs. And from Union Street, you'll see the addition in the back. We're approaching this house as this project and as this historic project. We will be maintaining the exposed roof rafters on the existing house in the addition. Similarly, we'll be weaving the wood shingles at the corners of the existing house. We'll be replacing the wood shingles with wood shingles, and we'll be replacing the windows with windows in kind with the same kind of mutton configuration. Moving on to the other side of the house, this is the existing rear elevation. And this is the proposed elevation with the addition and the rear back entrance. This is the side elevation facing the side lot. And this is that same elevation with the addition and with the partial build out of the front porch. With that, I think I'll conclude the presentation. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to take them up. The lot is non-conforming in the setbacks. The existing house now is within the setback, and we're proposing an addition that aligns with the existing rear of the house, side of the house.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I followed the setback argument. So you said that the existing house is or is not within the setback?
It's beyond. Here's the 15-foot side setback right here. Yeah. And the existing building overlaps that setback. And our addition only proposes to align with the existing side.
So your setback is going to be like, if I recall, something like 9 feet or thereabouts. Is that correct? I can't remember. I know
yeah,
it was
7'4", it looks like.
7'4", okay. Questions from thank you, Mr. Walter. Questions from the board?
And the enclosure of the partial enclosure of the front porch is in the same footprint, is that right?
It is. It is.
That's what it looked like. Just wanted to confirm.
Mm-hmm.
Other questions this time? Hearing none, I'm going to open this up for public comment. Checking to see if anyone's got a hand raised or wants to speak. Heather, are you seeing anyone?
I am not seeing anyone.
Okay. A few more seconds. All right. All right, with that, I'll close public comment. And open it up to the board discussion.
Sorry, I actually had one more question. The new bulkhead, does that overlap the setback on the other side?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
Rafi, bulkheads can encroach in the setback.
Oh,
They're
okay,
They're allowed by zoning.
great.
Excuse me, I can't find the raised
Button?
hand. This is
Okay.
Raji. I live next door on 31
Oh,
Willow
ma'am, I'm
Street.
sorry, Mr. Raj, you need to do, the whole, your name and address for the,
So my name is Raji, living on 31 Willow Street. So my house is next to the house on Fielding, because we are on the corner of Willow and Union, sorry, corner of Willow and Union. So my question is, how close is the addition going to be to the border between our house and the Fielding house?
So you're directly behind the lot?
We are directly next to. So if you're on Union
You're-
Street, when you see the driveway, if you walk a couple of feet, then it's our house and it's our driveway.
so the first thing that's closest to your house, Mr. Raj, is the shed or the, what you're
Correct.
calling
Yeah.
the sh-
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
So that shed will be torn down and the addition would be 15.4 feet away from the lot line.
Okay. So it's not going to go over the border or the line between the two houses. That's
No.
my question.
No. And in fact, with the removal of the shed, there'll be more yard between the
More
two
space.
properties.
Okay, that was my only question.
okay, thank you, Mr. Raj.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I understand that sometimes it's hard to find the buttons here and it's hard to see everyone.
And Ray, the back stoop, I guess, stoops also can go into the setback?
Correct. Uncovered landings can encroach the setback.
Thank you.
Okay. Further questions? I think I'll try to close this public comment again. We'll see how it works this time. Great, thank you. Any further discussion on the behalf of the board?
I like the proposal. I think it's harmonious and modest, and I am in favor of it.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Robbie, were you going to say something? I'm not.
No, I agree. In terms of the non-conformity, I think this doesn't really increase the non-conformity. It just sort of extends at the same sort of level of overlap with the setback, another 10 feet back, and with the shed being removed, and you could even argue that it kind of reduces what's non-conforming on the lot at this point. I think the back of the house does get closer to the neighbor there, but it looks like there's some mature trees that are kind of a natural screen, if there's any issue with it getting a little closer, and we are within the rear setback. So I think it was well presented, well designed, and I'm in favor of it as well.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think that taking down the shed helps the distance next to the Taraji property, and also moving the driveway means that cars that are parked there are going to be further away from the Taraji, Ms. Taraji's property.
Mhm.
I thought it was really good. Okay, I think it checks all the boxes from my point of view. If someone would like to
Sure, I'll go ahead. All right, I move that we grant a special permit to Molly Moulton and Alex Latch under section 7.1.3 and 11.6 of zoning bylaw to demolish existing 174 square foot detached garage structure and construct a 519 square foot addition on the existing 1,590 square foot non-conforming dwelling on a non-conforming lot at 34 Fielding Street, parcel number 0331, finding that such reconstruction, alteration, and extension is not substantially more detrimental than the existing non-conforming structure.
Second.
Great. All those in favor, Mr. Faia,
Aye.
Ms. Akers Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Smith, aye. Thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
see Ms. Moulton and Mr. Latch. Good luck with this. Good luck, Mr. Walter. It's a great looking project. It really is.
Thanks very much.
Moving on. The next is Timothy and Patricia Dre, excuse me. For a special permit under 7.1.3 and 11.6. The zoning bylaw to construct a 487 square foot addition on an existing 2,477 square foot non-conforming dwelling on a non-conforming lot at 252 Commonwealth Avenue. So once again, this is a situation where we're not touching the 50% limit, but rather that the property has a non-conformity that's going to be extended probably in one way, shape, or form by this. And that's why they're before us. And who is speaking for I see Mr. and Ms. Dre, but I'm not sure who's speaking for
Yeah,
that.
this is Tim. I'll be speaking for us.
Okay, if you can do your name and address, although we seem to have it here.
Sure. Yep. Tim Dre. It's my wife Patricia. We're at 252 Commonwealth Ave. We purchased this property in April, and we kind of had a fairly large rehab plan for it, for the house. It was in need of a lot of rehab. It's a lot of the original systems. There's much deferred maintenance. So as part of this rehab, we're redoing the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, the kitchen, the bathrooms, flooring. So we're trying to upgrade the house. And as part of this effort, we're also, as you mentioned, have this 487 square foot addition that we'd like to add it's towards the back of the house. It would add an extra bedroom and bathroom that we need for our family. The good news is it's towards the very back of the house. So there's nothing that you'd see from the front. As you mentioned, the property is non-conforming. It's a 8,750 square foot piece of property, but it's very tight, a little bit tight on the north side. So we're within the 12-foot setback there. The house currently, and with the addition that we're doing, we're just going up, but it's still within that 12-foot area there. But we think that there's a few reasons that, thank you, yep. So on the.
This is the other one, I think.
Yeah.
This is the Fielding Street, sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Mr. Dre, we just had the wrong photo up.
Sure. While it's getting brought up, I guess, yeah, there you can see. So to the left, there is the northern side, and that's where the existing house is 4.3 feet to that road. There is a right of way or easement that's a shared driveway. And our addition is towards the back there, so it's a little over 9 feet away. I think some of the reasons that maybe there could be limited concern is one is we're just building up on the existing foundation, so we're not expanding our footprint at all. The second is that as you mentioned, the GFA and the FAR are still with this addition, still in conformance. And then also this rehab and the addition is in the back, toward the back of the house. From the front, you'll see there's nothing that'll be visual. The square footage of a future house, 2,964 square feet, is pretty consistent with our Commonwealth Ave Street. There are several two-family houses that are in that 2,500 to 3,000 square foot range. So it's not a huge house for the street. And I think that's about all. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Great, thank you, Mr. Dre. Questions from the board? So in terms of the non-conformity here, this is, there is zero, I mean, there's nothing. We're not even sort of extending the structure back. It's just, it's the same, right, Ray? I mean, this is basically exactly the same place, just taller.
Right. The closest point of structure for this building is 4.3. So they're not, I mean, if they wanted to, they could have applied for a special permit to get us close to that 4.3. And typically the board would grant that, but you're correct, the new addition does not get any closer. The second floor remains the same setbacks as the first. So it's 9.4 and 12.6. That hasn't changed.
Other questions from the board? Guess I'll open this for public comment. See if we can do this again. I'm looking. If we don't somehow see you with your hand raised, you can shout out if you can, if we unmute you, but. Anything? All right. Well, didn't work the last time, but I'm gonna try it again. I'll close public comment and open it up for discussion by the board. Elizabeth, it looked like you were starting to talk.
Yeah, no, similar comments to last time. I think it's sensible, it's harmonious. As we said, it doesn't really even increase the non-conformity except for going up. I think it makes a lot of sense.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I think this is, I mean, we're just blessed. These last two are they're just, I think they're great additions that improve the houses themselves. I think they don't have any impact on the look and feel of the neighborhood, which is probably why there's not a lot of people clamoring to jump in here. So this is the best part about being the chair is you don't actually have to make these motions.
I move that we grant the special permit to Timothy and Patricia Dre under section 7.1.3 and 11.6 of the zoning bylaw to construct a 487 square foot addition on the existing 2,477 square foot non-conforming dwelling on a non-conforming lot at 252 Commonwealth Avenue, parcel 2171. Finding that the reconstruction or the alteration is not substantially detrimental to the neighborhood, that meets the conditions in 11.6 as well.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mr. Faya,
Aye.
Ms. Akers-Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Smith, aye. Mr. and Mrs. Dre, good luck. Thank you very much. It's
Thank you.
Looks like a great project. And good luck with all the other stuff, the wiring and having just finished the kitchen.
Maintenance, as we call it.
Deferred maintenance. I don't know if you're gonna get any supplies from anybody to actually put anything in there, but good luck. Good luck to you having sat for 4 weeks with a kitchen that didn't go anywhere for COVID related reasons. So next we have David Matheson for a special permit. We have David Matheson under sections 4.2.2.1 and 11.6 for a two-family dwelling at 53 Hubbard Street. Oh, in this case, Mr. Matheson's not here because the applicant has requested a continuance without discussion to the November 18th meeting. So if I could have a motion to that regard, that'd be great.
All right, I move that we continue Dave Matheson's hearing for a special permit under section 4221, et cetera, to our meeting November 18th at, Heather, what are we time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Second.
We have a second. Thank you, Mr. Faya,
Aye.
Ms. Akers-Moore,
Aye.
Mr. Smith, aye. Terrific. Ray, I don't know much about this administrative business, so I'm hoping you do.
Yeah, so in August, Bentley Building came in for special permit for a two-family at 116 Concord Street, and it was all approved. And when they came into the permit, one of the inspectors, when he was reviewing the plans, the plans for the two-family was 3,602 square feet, and the recorded decision has 3,202. So if that was the only glitch in the recording, and me and Elizabeth and Heather talked about it, we weren't sure if we could do it just in office, just make a note on it. And I wasn't sure because this is a recorded document. I didn't know how critical that would be. It's just changing that square footage. The house plans are the 3,602 that the builder's looking for. It's just the number doesn't match up. And
So are we going down 4 feet or up 4 feet?
so, no. So the builder applied for a permit, was granted a permit, according to the plans, for 3,602 square feet for two duplexes. Well, each one was
Right.
1801. And when the decision got written, it says it got approved for 3,202. So it's about 400 square feet.
Oh, it's 3,202.
Bring up
But the
4
plan,
feet, yeah.
but the plans we were looking at were the 3,602
Correct.
plans.
Yep.
And all of the FAR and other calculations were
Right.
done in accordance with the 3,602.
Right. It's a conforming lot. So like I said, maybe we don't have to do anything, but I wasn't comfortable just making a note in the file if the board didn't feel that was the proper way to go about this either. You know, I don't know. if
Sounds
this-
like clerical error in the decision that.
Right.
We can,
I mean, we can do it either way. I can make a
This
note.
doesn't have any timing effect on the applicant, does it?
Well, actually, the permit's been issued because, I mean, it was
Okay.
just a clerical mistake. So I just don't know if this would cause confusion, like at a closing or something.
I don't mind correcting the record, that's for sure.
Okay. So we can correct it and have.
Jim,
the-
I would suggest you take a vote to authorize you to correct the record, to submit it to the, for the filing purposes. Because I'm thinking down the line, if somebody has to do a title exam and picks
Right.
that up, et cetera, et cetera. So strikes me it could be done very simply, but it would then be in the record.
Well, we're gonna let you make a motion to that effect. You gotta vote one of these days.
What's the address of the property?
116 Conant Street.
116.
I move that-
Conan.
116. I move that with respect to the decision for 116 Conant Street, that the indication of 3,202 square feet be approved as a correction to the 3,602. That is what the applicant asked for.
And was shown on the plans that we reviewed.
Correct.
Perfect. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Swaim,
Yes.
Ms. Akers-Moore,
Yes.
Mr. Smith, aye. Great. There you go. Thank you, Ray. That's great. You don't want to, I agree with Tom. You just don't want to mess around with these title things.
Right, that's kind of why we brought it to you. So how is this gonna work? Does this decision get rewritten and re-recorded, or just so I know on our end at the building department? Or is just a, I mean, I'm not sure how it works.
Has the decision already been recorded?
Yes, it has.
Yes,
Has the decision been recorded?
Yes,
Yes.
you're sort of freezing on us, Tom. I don't know if you're,
Well, yeah, I know. Personally, I would be comfortable that this vote simply be attached and placed in the building file, the zoning file. We may want to ask the applicant if they'd like to have a new decision to be recorded. Be simple enough to do.
Okay,
I agree. That's perfect.
all right, great. Thank you.
Thank you. We have minutes of some meetings, which I don't, we got a couple minutes today, right, Heather? I don't, for one set.
Yeah, sorry about the last minute submissions.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to look at them, but I don't know.
Yeah,
July
I did.
8th, you got before the last meeting, so I don't know if anyone looked at those.
Yeah,
I
I did
resent them
look at
today.
July, good with that. But the August and September, I haven't had a chance yet.
Okay. So
think
why
it
don't
would-
we get a vote on July 8th and then we can defer the other two. If I can have a motion.
Sure, I move that we approve the minutes of July 8th that were circulated to the board by Ms. Carey.
Second,
All those in favor, Mr. Faya,
All right,
Ms. Akers-Moore,
aye.
Mr. Smith, aye. Terrific.
We did it.
Great. We did it.
7:43. Nice work.
7:43. Yes, well, I
You
didn't
deserve
think my
that.
I didn't think my first meeting was going to be the shortest one ever, that's for sure.
Correct. Now we earned this. We earned this month.
Well, so back in the old days, this board didn't meet in the summer sometimes. We didn't have like a July or August or whatever meeting, because there was nothing going on. All right.
Unfortunately,
Any
not now.
other, any related public comment? Not that many members of the public left. All right.
Thank you all.
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Declare ourselves adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank
We'll see you
you.
next month.
Good night.
Take
Good
care,
night.
everyone.
Right, thank you.